I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole. Hello gamers, what's up? Fancy meeting you here. I actually dug really far deep, farther than I was wanting to dig here, but I'm going to show you guys two mods that have changed my life in Arma for the better here. Now these mods have actually been out for a while here. We're going to have Drongo's Dial and improved craters. Basically, there was an update back a couple months ago in Arma that went a little bit under the radar for a lot of my friends and whatnot. Some people did hear about it, and it's probably not heavily used. I know a lot of the groups I played with, it's not heavily used. Definitely not the Drongo's Dial, but even the improved craters. And what you can do here is, here I am, I'm in game, I'm not an Eden editor. I just put this down in Zeus, and I just built this little area down here. I've dug into the water here. Now this is really useful. If you imagine if you have a bunch of guys out here and you're just digging your holes with your bros and you're wanting to set up maybe like a machine gun entrenchment nest. Now normally you've been doing this with grad trenches, you know, the entrenching tool. That's one way of doing it, but that does it above the ground. You know, if you want to dig into the ground, you couldn't do that in Arma for the longest time. So now you can actually do that. I think it's amazing to be able to dig trenches and set them up. Like imagine if you could just set up a whole bunch of walls and fortifications with a whole bunch of guys in sandbags for an op. That'd be amazing, especially digging something like this into the water where you can go in and just like imagine you're like, oh man, we need our boat to go through here, and then you can just have everybody digging that out. It might take a bit, but it's now possible thanks to Drongo's Dial. Now what you'll need is in the arsenal and the miscellaneous items, you're gonna need this thing called a shovel here, which is what I have. I'm actually gonna go and need to drop it real quick, which I don't have a weapon here. That is one thing I will say, is I need to actually give myself a weapon. So what I'll actually do here is I'll go in to loadouts and show you to my uniform. I have a mixed match of mods loaded right now. That you'll need this shovel here, the Dial shovel within the misc items. Now, in order to grab it, I don't know why I didn't give myself just a generic weapon. There we go. Let's get the totally naughty shotgun here. In order to grab it, which I think I just threw away, well, let's go and grab that again. You actually need to click on it to activate it. So that might be something that people might not be accustomed to usually with like Ace interacting on stuff. There. Let me just fix myself. I'm freaking out. But you'll go in, you'll double click the shovel, and then it'll pop down on your side here. You can do this in first person or third person. I think third person is just a little bit better. You actually hit Alt C and it pops up this little menu to start digging here. And like I said, eventually you'll get far enough where you can actually get into the water. And that is just, it's just so much fun. It's crazy. It really, it's the small things that matter in Arma, like jumping and melee and digging holes into the ground. It just make it nice. Just make it so fun. All right, let's talk about our second mod here today. It's improved craters. And what we're going to do is we're just going to crater the heck out of an area. And you're going to see just how massively different it's going to be. So let's take a road, for example. This is a perfect example. We're going to go to fire support, and we're just going to lay in an extreme barrage of stuff here. We're just going to absolutely obliterate the area. I'm going to throw everything except for the meteors at it, pretty much. Now you can already see how massive of a change from up here that this is doing. I know the barrage is maybe a little overkill, you know. If you're thinking about maybe just hitting this with like a tank, you can even set it up to be effective with the player grenades and grenade launchers, but typically if you're going to be shelling a environment and doing the type of destruction that I'll be showing you here, you typically want it to be something more of like a heavy artillery here. So let's take a look here at some of the destruction as it's still going on. And I think, is that it? Save? Nope. One more for good luck. Watch, I'm gonna teleport myself over here and just be like hit by artillery. Alright. So here I am, let's go. Let's run into the zone here. And oh my goodness. You know what, I probably should have done this or anything else. Make invincible. Yes, there we go, just in case. Yep, you're not gonna get me today. Goodness. So this entire area is just being leveled out. Still being leveled out. Goodness. The Barrage really did a massive number here. Just the ability to change up the terrain from, you know, flat ground, roads, to just a massive crater. Like, this is the destruction I want in Battlefield. We should have this in 2023 in Battlefield 2042 in the new games. And it's really sad that we don't, but it's really cool that a game like Arma is old as it is, that modders can do stuff like this and they update it to be able to do stuff like this. And I think this is just a massive game changer, to say the least, when it comes to really changing the environment of what you're playing and giving that level of destruction and changing it up. You know, if we were to go and do this to maybe a city, let's see what it would look like before and after. So let's go to maybe Vibor over here. Vibor sounds like a good city. Nice, you know, city to raise a family in, right? I mean, this is Chernarus Redux, so probably not, but here's the town here as everything's still kind of loading that I flew over. And we'll do a before. And here is after. There's still a couple strikes going on here, but I have pretty much leveled this town down. It's even created some massive craters down into the earth. That's going to be almost impossible to move any vehicle in. You know, what once was a pretty flat area like this is now just bumpies and just hills, and like the craters have gone so far. You can customize this if you're like, well, I don't want it to go that deep into the ground, or if you're like, I want it to go even deeper, you can. And what's cool is you see actually the ground, it doesn't have those big circle holes everywhere from the craters. It actually starts morphing and fixes the terrain around it too, which is really cool. You can see it's actually getting the grass here at fix and the roads from where it has the dents almost, you know, mixing it into the terrain in a pretty smooth way too, in my opinion. So yeah, this is when I dropped like a mini nuke over here in this area compared to all the massive artillery strikes from just all the mods I have loaded in here. But everyone, if you want to get your hands on these two mods, I will have them linked down below. Drongo's Dial for carrying logistics interactions. It's more than just the shoveling mod. I'll say that there's some other really cool features within it also. And then of course, improved craters. That being said, if there's any other cool mods that you guys want me to check out, leave them down below, and we will get to them most definitely. Other than that, everyone, have a great day, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.